one of which is ATX, and from the 29th to 31st. And this is the event that is on the telecommunications, broadcast media, satellite, startups, and enterprise solutions. All right, and then the other side of it is the ATX Summit, starting on the 30th to 31st May, and this is hosted by IMDA, which is Infocom Media Development Authority of Singapore, and it will be held at a different place from our event. Our event will be at Singapore Expo, one of the largest expo hall in Singapore, and it's one level. All right, so for those people who have not been there, we welcome you this time around. All right, so there are two components. So the ATX Summit focus on G2G, G2B discussion on emerging trends, challenges, opportunity, and with the governance part of the part of the conversation, entire conversation. All right, next. So within enterprise, ATX Enterprise, there are 6 events taking place in parallel within the same hall. So we have one that's Broadcast Asia, that's been running about probably 20th edition, Communic Asia running in the probably 30th edition, Satellite Asia has always been alongside with Communic Asia. TX8 focuses on enterprise solutions. All right, InnoFest and Elevating Founders, and this is very much championed by one of the biggest and largest national university here in Singapore. And AI Summit is a new addition to our show floor this year, but AI Summit is not new in the world. They have been a very established event in London and also in USA. Next.
Sorry to cut you, Kevin. If you are running slides, I think we can't see your slides right now.
Oh, my apology. We are actually running slides. Are you able to see the slides?
No.
Shanna, do you want to reshare again? My apology. Thanks for picking it up. Shanna, you want to upload again? Can you see the slide
Yes,
right now?
It's visible now, right?
Okay. So let's go back to the first one, Shanna. Okay. Let me just start all over again. No, it's okay. Go back to the first slide, Shanna. Just take it as that is a rehearsal for me. Okay, the event is going to take place on 29th to 31st of May this year at Singapore Expo, and this is on enterprise, on the ATX Enterprise. And the ATX Enterprise is actually part of the entire ATX that's going to take place this year, and this is co-organized between us, Informa Tech, and also Infocom Media Development Authority of Singapore. Is a government agency that handles the whole entire media and telecommunications. Next. Now there are two parts to the show: the ATX Enterprise and the ATX Summit. ATX Enterprise is going to take place on the 29th to 31st, a 3 days event, and this is very much on the telecommunications, broadcast media, satellite, startups, and enterprise solutions. All right. Whereas the other part of it is ATX Summit, organized by Infocom Media Development Authority of Singapore, and their conversation actually centered around G2G, G2B, on emerging trends, challenges, opportunities, and the governance part of the tech. Particularly more so, I think there's a big focus on AI. Right. And this event on the right side that you're seeing right now, ATX Summit, is strictly by invitation by the government. Whereas on the left side, the ATX Enterprise is free to attend, free to access as long as you register, and except two part a paying conference, one of which is actually the satellite, and the other one is the AI Summit. Next. So there are 6 part of the show within ATX Summit, 3 days over at Sing Expo, which I mentioned earlier on, focus on Broadcast Asia, Communic Asia, Satellite, TX8, InnoFest, Elevating Founders, and AI Summit. Now, AI Summit is a new element that has been added this year. Otherwise, AI Summit has been a long-established show in New York and London. Next. Now, within ATX enterprise. I mentioned earlier on, the event has been consistently attracted about almost 1,000 over exhibitors, more so for last year. These are the stats for last year: 22,000 unique attendees, and 400 over speakers, and with almost over 200 over sessions over the entire 3 days across the 6 events. Next. So these are the agenda at a glance. I will not go into detail, but they touch on technology, the commercial part of the business, and also we talk about so that applies to broadcast, InnoFest, TX8, Community, and AI Summit. So these are the broad stroke of the agenda at a glance. And all the conferences are all taking place within the show floor, free access apart from the satellite and the AI Summit, which is actually in a closed door, paid model. So this year, these are the speakers that we have. Of course, more are being added on each day. So currently, we have almost about, as I mentioned earlier on, we have about almost 200 sessions across 3 days, over 6 main shows, right? 400 over speakers, 15 tracks, and 7 stages. Now, give you a bit of the overview of the attendee profile for last year, and this has been the consistent composition of visitors, local visitors. Now, almost about 49, 50 again from overseas. Now we attract audiences, anything that's 4 to 5 hours of flight time zone is our catchment of visitors, from all the way from in India Ocean, Southeast Asia. Now, last year, top 10 outside Singapore were China, Indonesia, Malaysia, South Korea, Philippines, Thailand, India, Vietnam, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. All right, it's more than 65% compositions management and above. Next. Our broadcasters, TV production, movies, satellite operators, cable operators, all right. Whereas the telcos, the ICT company, people from a data center, a carrier mobile, in the enterprise part, the cybersecurity, big data. So these are the composition of audiences by industry, by industry and by verticals. All right. Whereas the satellite operator, the next, 7% from satellite operators. All right. Next. These are the visiting brands that came last year. So these are our usual suspect, and we will continue to attract this group of people, like-minded kind of companies coming to our show. Yep. Next. I'll pause here for a while. Now we have almost 30 over pavilion, and these are the pavilion that will be coming. These were 2023, and these are exactly the same for 2024. Now from Broadcast Asia, we have the German pavilion, Spain, Korea, Singapore, Great Britain, USA, Canada. Whereas for Community, these are the pavilion, satellites, and TX8. Right, so we have been consistently attracting this group of people, and some of them have actually been on board for the past 15, 20 years addition. So this gives you probably a bit of confidence that our show has indeed almost about 90% of international exhibitors, 10% from Singapore, 90% from overseas. It's a composition, 50 from Singapore and 50 from outside Singapore, 4 to 5 hours flight time zone. So these are the composition of our show. All right, next. And we hope to have Pakistan on board with us this time around. Now, this is an overview of the entire 3.5 hall. Now, notwithstanding there's a hospitality suite, meeting rooms on the far right side corner of the hall. Yeah, so there are also exhibitors exhibiting there as a hospitality suite exhibitors, and our AI summit and satellite conference is actually taking place over at that part of it. Otherwise, the rest of the conference, which I mentioned earlier on, they're all inside the within the show floor itself, right? And right smack in the center, we have actually allocated a very good location because this conversation with Eventage has already taken place a long time ago. So we have actually secured a prime location intersecting across the whole entire four halls. Now in the center, actually visitors are able to move freely across the entire to the middle of the hall. All right, entrance from the if you Shanna, if you can show the cursor, yes, entrance from the bottom here, yeah, all the arrows here are all entrances to the hall, but most of them will enter either via level hall 3 or hall 6. Hall 6 next to it on the left side is a train station. All right, hall 3 on the right side of it is a taxi uh, stand. So it's either you or public transport via hall 3. You very well connected by public transport. Now, so the booth that we have actually allocated is actually right smack in the center between the the hall, starting from hall 6. So yeah, next. So on top of you is actually Dell company. So alongside with pavilions, all the big names. So it's actually a good location in order to, I mean, where you can actually get a lot of footfall. Right, next. I'll hand this time back to Eventage.
Thank you so much, Calvin, for your insightful information. Now, I would like to call Mr. Adil Mukhtar, who was the Assistant Director at TDAP, and he would like to tell about the subsidy of Pakistan Pavilion.
Hello everyone, this is Adil Mukhtar and I am working with Trade Development Authority of Pakistan, which is an attached organization of Ministry of Commerce of Federal Government of Pakistan. Regarding Asia Tech, this is the first time TDAP is arranging participation of Pakistani IT companies in some IT event in Singapore officially. And one of the reasons for arranging Asia Tech was like we were traditionally tapping mostly markets in Europe, Americas, and Middle East. And Southeast Asia was actually the missing link for us. And we actually thought about Asia Tech that could be a very good opportunity for the Pakistani IT and IT industry. And for that, for this participation, we are extending around 60% subsidy for Pakistani IT companies to participate in the event. Like the government will pay 60% of their fee, and the rest of the fee, the 40% part, is that amounts to around 5,75,000 Pakistani rupees will be paid by the companies. And with that, the TDAP and our mission in Singapore will also help the Pakistani companies with the visa facilitation and with arranging some B2Bs and some follow-up meetings. And I believe that Asia Tech would prove to be a good opportunity for Pakistani IT and ITS companies. Like most of you people who have joined the webinar or can apply by 27th of April this month. And I hope this will prove to be very fruitful for your future endeavors or business and also for the Pakistani IT industry. Thank you.
Thank
Now,
you.
if I may add, if I may just add on to what was been said earlier on, I think ATX is actually a good springboard for company who wants to reach out to ASEAN or Asia visitors, but it also provide an opportunity to be able to connect with international participation. So the options of not just seeing ASEAN visitors, but also business networking, business connection with international exhibitors is also there, because early on I presented that we have almost about 30 pavilions internationally coming into the show floor. So that also give an extra a platform for Pakistani companies to make connection to do investment, vice versa. So as I say, so there's actually a lot of touch point internationally and regionally.
I second whatever Kevin has said. Like, it's not just the visitor of that area. Like, you get to meet a lot of people who are your fellow exhibitors from different parts of the countries, and you get to make a lot of networking. You can have, for example, it's not just about the Southeast Asia market you are looking at by just participating in the Asia Tech. Like, you can have connections from all over the world who will be coming over or traveling to Asia Tech for their exhibition. So I second Kevin's opinion on that. And I think it would be a very good start for Pakistani companies to start with Asia Tech to tap like specifically the Singaporean or ASEAN market. But in the longer run, you would be making connections and making business deals with all over with companies from all over the world.
Thank you, Adil. Thank you for your information. Now, the floor is open for the questions. You can ask the question one by one by raising your hands. We have a question in the chat. Please share the cost schedule. The cost is actually 5,75,000, which is subsidized by TDAB. And I will share with you the this is the ad. This is the ad. And the deadline for this is 27th April 2024. Here is the link. I'll be sharing with you guys the link. You can apply on this link. There are some basic details that you need to fill about your company. You need to show your bank statement in this form, and then you have to submit it. I will share the link with you guys as well. Any other questions? Anyone who has questions, they can ask right now.
I also want to add on the
Yes.
English has always been the main mode of communications. So be it within the ASEAN, yeah, so everybody speak English. Everybody who goes there all speak English. So language is not an issue, all right? Which products or services are in demand in Singapore? I think it would be good to consider not just Singapore as the business opportunity, but I think consider as ASEAN, the whole entire ASEAN. So depending on the products, I'm not able to qualify to answer that. But I think in terms of the position of the unique thing about doing business in Asia is that you have an opportunity to speak with very developed countries like Singapore or developing countries where some of the products are also equally suitable for countries what you have. But as I say, your opportunity here is actually quite a wide one. Singapore, which is very developed, so if you have solutions and services which will actually apply the benefit, the development stage of Singapore, they are certainly welcome. But again, they're also in other part the ASEAN work, the countries, cities are still developing, so there's also one opportunity. And as I say, And then between exhibitors, you can actually take your products as far as China if you want. Hope that explain.
We have another question. Would there be a list of exhibitors available to explore B2B? Mirza, yeah, you will, once you register for this exhibition, you submit the form. There will be the application access that you will be given. On that application, you will have all of the list of exhibitors that would be exhibiting there. So that's how you can access to the list of exhibitors.
Hi, to answer questions, now unfortunately our event is actually a B2B or G2B show. So there's no consumer. Again, this is not the profile of ATX. ATX has always been positioned as a B2B event, and we have been doing this for the past 30 years, and that position us differently from the rest of other shows, because we are, to stage a show for 30 years, I don't think it's easy. So we are actually on year trying to strive with new content, and more so this year we have AI has been a big focus now. Later on we can actually, for those who are keen, we can actually share with you the latest part of the AI topics that we are talking about. So AI will not only be a subject matter by itself. Now AI can be also applied to the telecom, the broadcast, the satellite. So again, this is a good touch point for any company who are interested in AI. Now, how many countries are there participating? Earlier I mentioned, I think we have almost about 30 over country pavilions. And these are just pavilion participation. Now, internationally, we have exhibitors as far as US, Canada, entire Europe composition, entire Asia composition, Australia, New Zealand. So internationally, we have almost about 90%, I mentioned earlier, 90% of our exhibitors are actually international exhibitors, not just the pavilions. So yeah. Can I share some of example of successful collaboration or outcomes from previous? We have, our show has been almost about repeat exhibitors. Repeat exhibitors has about 70%. So we have been constantly and consistently delivering good business opportunity for our exhibitors. If not, we would have almost about 70% of our exhibitors are all repeat exhibitors. And all the more, we have strong support from government, because a lot of the pavilions are actually funded by the government. If the show has not been delivering result, the government would probably have already funneled the budget to some other show. But our event has been consistently delivering result. Hence, the pavilions are coming back year on year.
Okay, any other questions?
Shanna, are you able to share the PowerPoint into the group so that they can actually take their time to read through also?
Any other questions you guys have?
Yes, to answer the question, yes, the event is a B2B and B2G. Why B2G? Because while the IMDA's event is taking place, on the second day, they usually will end up having all the ministers. I think last year we have almost about 20 to 30 international ICT ministers. So they will actually invite them to our events. Some of them are actually having pavilions they are hosting. So they usually come to visit our event. So again, there's opportunity for a B2G touch point.
Thank you so much, Calvin, for the questions. If anybody has more questions, they can ask on the chat.
I think there's one question here about apps. Yes, we have actually a swap card, a mobile apps that actually do business matching with visitors. So again, this is another touch point that we actually provide for all exhibitors.
Yes, the Mirza, this deck will be shared with you after the presentation. Thank you, Shana. She has shared it. Also, you can drop your email on the chat so that I can email you this deck as well.
In fact, you can actually go to our website. I think all the latest speakers, sponsors, they'll all be uploaded on a periodical, yeah, periodically, yes, regularly as well. Yeah.
I guess everyone is done with their questions. Now we can end this webinar. Thank you so much, Calvin, Shana, and Sir Adil, for your time and for this insightful webinar. And if you guys have any question or query, you can connect me. I can further guide you with all the process for this exhibition, how you can apply to this. The deadline for this is 27th April. So you guys have to apply before that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Love us.